Happy New Year, everyone. Mingla Ba, and welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Here are the latest news and reports. First one on over 2.5 million tons of rice export target in 2020. Next on school bus system reform, individual owners coming together to form a private company. A story coverage on weather briefing of the winter till December 2019. And the last report on Student Festival Myanmar 2020 to be held. Now, before we get to the reports, why don't we have a look at what's happening in local news. The following is 2020 New Year message from President Wu Win-Myint. Quote, "May you all enjoy the best of health and peace of mind on the auspicious day of the New Year 2020. Our union government has been working strenuously with the collective strength of the people by laying down firm noble goals and programs for sustainable peace, prosperity, and development for a happy and prosperous life of the citizens." Quote, "We have been making unrelenting efforts for the emergence of the Democratic Federal Union constitution that guarantees equal rights, peace and development which have been yearned for so many years by all ethnic national citizens. At this auspicious time of the new year, may all citizens be blessed with auspiciousness and good fortune. May there be peace and prosperity as metta envelops the whole country." For fighting tuberculosis, the Global Fund shelled out $10 million for 2018 and 2019, while the Access to Health Fund provided $1 million for 2019 and 2020, according to the National Tuberculosis Eradication Program. The Ministry of Health and Sports has announced that people need to provide information about those living with TB, whether they are receiving treatment at private hospitals or clinics. And private laboratories also need to submit reports on outbreaks of diseases, so the number of TB patients can be determined. Out of 6,000 TB patients who do not have access to treatment in Yangon region are included in the normal TB patients and drug-resistant TB patients. Myanmar still remains on the list of countries with the highest number of TB patients due to patients not taking medicines regularly, high number of MDR-TB cases, and HIV and TB co-infection. The ministry is aiming to bring TB incidence down to 40% by 2020 and MDR-TB to 5% from 2015 to 2020. In Myanmar, more males are afflicted with TB than females. About 80% of TB patients are aged between 15 and 54. Over 600 local and foreign artists and sculptors will gather in Bagan to exhibit their works from 7th to the 11th of January at the Bagan Archaeological Museum honoring the World's Heritage Bagan. Organized by Myanmar Artists and Sculptures Asia 1 Central and the Ministry of Religious Affairs and Culture, Art Expo Bagan 2020 will showcase works of 620 artists, including those from 20 countries. During the 5-day period, an online art trading platform will be introduced and veteran artists will also demonstrate the basic steps for painting and sculpting. The first ever largest gathering of artists at the World's Heritage Site is aimed at revealing and conserving the historical cultural heritage through the soft power of the arts. An owner of Lai Myanmar wheat straw hats business said, "Wheat straw hats, which are produced by traditional businesses in Ngalontin village, Changwu Township, are selling mostly in Lashio Township of northern Shan State." She said they, quote, "are sending the wheat straw hats mainly to Lashio because the locals from Lashio are primarily engaged in agriculture. So they order wheat straw hats which last long in bad weather conditions. This year, Ngalontin village has produced over 300,000 oat hats. The wheat straw hats have been sent to Myitkyina, Bago, Kalay, and Lashio." That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. Shareholders joined the annual plenary meeting of the Myanmar Agribusiness Public Corporation at the UMFCCI on Saturday. MAPCO announced its strategy to boost the next year rice export. Shareholders actively participated with keen interest in the plan to boost the quality and export despite the recent struggle in border trade. For more on the strategy and the export target for 2020, Agajo has the details.
Meaw, chairman of Myanmar Rights Federation and managing director of MAPCO, said that in 2020, over 2.5 million tons of rice are expected to be exported. This was learned at the annual plenary meeting of Myanmar Agribusiness Public Corporation Limited, MAPCO, at UMFCCI. Over the past years, Myanmar suffered a decline in border trade, which also impacts rice export. Over the past 2 years, Myanmar could export only about 2 million tons of rice per year. Therefore, the rice businesses are cautious with its next year export target. MAPCO on Saturday rolled out its plan for 2020. Meaw, managing director of MAPCO, said,
We are prioritizing to increase export volume. In 2018 and 2019, the border trade saw a sharp drop. It's not a complete stop, but it dropped significantly. For example, the trade dropped from then 4,000 tons to 1,000 tons now. The declining border trade leads to drop in rice price. It's dropped to the extent that the government has to intervene to help maintain the market. So for the paddy season, we have put forward plans to the government. So we are planning to boost the export volume. Currently, more than 2 million tons of rice are being exported these years. Also for the coming 2019 to 2020 fiscal year, we expect to export around 2.5 million tons.
Rice exports saw struggle as competitions become tougher and quality drops. The export volume took a dive in 2016-2017 and 2017 and 2018 fiscal years. After careful quality control measure, the rice export increased in 2018 and 2019 fiscal year.
Now we are focusing on rice production, but we are not starting to shift on maize and other high-value crops like grape in collaboration with Israel. It's also noted that Singapore and China will be running an industrial zone which include agri-food zones in Myanmar. There are very few industrial zones in Myanmar which can be called agri-food zones.
With the better quality, the demand for the export of broken rice also increased. As short-term operation plan in 2020, about 15,000 million tons are expected to be yielded per month. Myan, executive director of MAPCO, said,
Africa is a regular buyer of our rice. They prefer our rice because Myanmar rice is a bit lower in price than rice from Thailand and Vietnam. Back in 2017 to 2018, we got a Sri Lanka market. But in 2018 to 2019, the market went down a bit. Now Sri Lanka market is discussing the offers again. So we are hopeful that we will be able to export to Sri Lanka soon. This is the new potential.
Myanmar's rice export hit the record high with 3 million tons during the previous year. According to Myanmar Rights Federation, the country has set a target of $1 billion revenue from rice export sector in 3 years. Despite many foreign direct investments coming in, only a few invest in the agricultural sector. MAPCO has joined UN Global Compact initiatives in order to implement and commit the best practices related to anti-corruption, human rights, labor, and environment. By incorporating the Global Compact principles into MAPCO's corporate strategies, policies, and procedures, and establishing a culture of integrity, MAPCO is intended to uphold the basic responsibilities to people and planet. Everyone at MAPCO is committed to practice the 10 principles of UN Global Compact. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on over 2.5 million tons rice export target in 2020. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. It's a nice weather with plenty of sunshine, but air quality will be unhealthy for sensitive groups during the day. Expect highest temperature of 33 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 20 degrees Celsius. In Naypyidaw, nice weather with sunshine during the day. Expect highest temperature of 31 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 18 degrees Celsius. In Mandalay, there will be a shower or thunderstorm around in the morning, otherwise clouds giving way to sun during the day. Expect highest temperature of 28 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 18 degrees Celsius. Well, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. Yangon TTC private school bus company with over 40 school buses was launched on Tuesday in South Okalapa Township in Yangon. The company comprises over 20 school bus owners. The private company will provide its services in TTC schools and is expected to expand into a public company in the long run, Agajo reports.
The private school bus company, run by about 20 shareholders, launched on Tuesday at its office in Yangon. Named Yangon TTC Private School Bus Company Limited, the company claims it will run its over 40 school buses in line with the 12 criteria that Yangon Region Transport Authority sets. The launch took place at the office of the company in South Okalapa on Tuesday. Uwenai, secretary of the company, explained how the company happens to be formed.
We run the school bus businesses since the previous government terms, and so with the change in system since 2018, we comply with the 12 factors on the regulations. That's 100% of the school buses that we change in line and with the new rules. Then again, to be able to become more concrete business, we need to form into a company. So we form a company and we are to pay tax from the business. And as our company is found by the people, we would like the government support. Although the company is named Yangon TTC Private School Bus Company, we have planned to provide service to schools in other townships. There are school bus businesses not only in Yangon, but also in other cities. So we want to kickstart the business and will expand to other parts of the country. The company is providing service to the students in Kamayut, Bahan, Damwe, North Dagon, East Dagon, North Okalapa, and other townships. According to the company's law, the company is registered at DICA as a private company with under 50 shareholders. Currently, the company is run by 20 to 23 shareholders, possessing 2 to 3 school buses each. The bus owners of the companies have been doing the school bus businesses since the time light trucks are used for school buses. With the plan to transform the school bus system like the Yangon public transport system was changed, the owners struggled significantly to keep up with the system change. 12 requisites that school buses need to meet include safety arrangements for the students, including medical kits, fire extinguisher, and so on. He also added that as the company is small, action taking and execution of the plan is faster than government-run school buses. As our company is small, the processes are faster than in addressing the issues, executing the plans, and responding to complaints, compared to the school buses by the government. As a transport authority is a big organization, the case needs to be reported step by step, and it takes some time to take some action and response. Of course, if our company becomes bigger and turns into the public company, the same thing will happen to us. But for now, being a small business, the processes are faster. However, the company has not installed CCTVs on the buses, and it is learned that CCTVs will be installed sometime later as the shareholders are to invest initially on the buses. Yangon Region Transport Authority YRTA started implementing the Yangon school bus system in 2018-2019 academic year. The first pilot project operated about 100 school buses for the schools such as Kamayo TTC, Yangon TTC, and 5 schools in North Okalapa Township over the last academic year.
There are 2 reforms. One is YBS reform, where we form public buses companies to execute the reforms. Then Chief Minister advises to get together the individual owned buses and form a company. So the bus owners and the school's buses owners share the same challenge. That is how to properly form a company. So we learn from the YBS reform move, and we will advise them to apply it on the school bus reform now. The market economy is getting stronger and individually, and the businesses cannot deal with the challenges. Only if they form a company, the execution and doing business will be easier and much systematic. So we would like to urge the individual school buses owner to join the company.
Of 200 buses set for the Yangon bus system, about 100 school buses have been running since the last academic year. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
As a report on school bus system reform, individual owners coming together to form a private company. And now we have an information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,479 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 211 kyats. €1 is at 1,656 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,937 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,096 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 360 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 49 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 20 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,517. Silver is at $17. And Brent crude oil is at $61. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI is at 11,000. MTSH remains at 3,850. MCB is at 8,200. FPB remains at 23,000. TMH is at 2,900. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. MI Radio made a phone interview with Director General of the Department of Meteorology and Hydrology to get information about the winter season. Our reporter, DJ Henry Zin, will give us the briefing of the winter season according to the data till December 2019.
The winter in Myanmar usually starts from November and ends in February. Because of the climate change, the winter in Myanmar is also changing with the unstable temperature. However, this year, it is slightly cooler than the previous year. MI Radio has got a chance to have the phone interview with Dr. Jomu, Director General of the Department of Meteorology and Hydrology. So let's hear the briefing of winter season in Myanmar according to the data till December.
The feeling you almost see, no? So until I can see, Diga, the Bajamu, the Nobaga, the Wilani, or not Shivana, the Wilani, the Ariete only, not for
The rate of temperature in the winter is not stable. It is because of the effect of the whirlwind from the east and west. The cooling rate in the winter depends on the effect of high-pressure areas from China. If stronger the high-pressure areas from China are, the colder in our country it is, and vice versa. One specific level of the high-pressure area sometimes lasts for 5 or 6 days.
Hello, the I was in the rule of my EVM, or any time you know she was. He tended that he in a Romania or the Semana, Yamia Bujino, she don't know. He the Semana, Yamia Bujino, Nang, you are general Shambine.
In most of the states and regions of the country, it is about the average temperature of December. In Shan State, Yangon region, and the Nindai region, the temperature slightly drops below the average. The months with the highest cooling rate are December and January. Compared to the previous year, it is slightly cooler during the winter of this year. Despite the fact that it was quite cooler in the beginning of December, there was no special occurrence during the winter of Myanmar, according to the data until the end of December.
Some rare weather phenomena during the winter are that the forming of low-pressure areas or depression at Bay of Bengal and Atman Sea around January and February, and rain caused by the cloud coming with the western disturbance. But it is quite rare to happen. So usually the combination of cool and warm winds can create the rain, especially during the transformation period to summer, which starts in February.
During the transformation period of winter and summer, the cool and warm winds combine to create thunderclouds and rain. During the period of transforming into the summer, we have to be aware of the thunderclouds, strong wind, and thunder strikes at the evening. And during the daytime, the extreme temperature should be aware of.
That's all about the weather briefing of winter season in Myanmar according to the data until December. This is Dora Susan from MI Radio.
That's a report on weather briefing of the winter till December 2019. And here's the last report on Student Festival Myanmar 2020. With the aim to bring together all students from public, private, international private, and monastic schools in Myanmar and have a fun-oriented activities, Myanmar Private School Federation, in collaboration with private international schools, will be organizing Student Festival Myanmar 2020, which will take place at the Diamond Jubilee Hall of the Yangon University campus on 12th of January 2020. David Henry has more.
With the motive to unite the students from all kinds of schools, such as the public, private, and monastic schools, Myanmar Private Schools Federation, in collaboration with Private International Schools Association, came up with an idea of organizing a one-day activities and fun-oriented students meet-up event, which is named as Students Festival Myanmar 2020. We will be hearing out the details from DJ, one of the organizers for the Students Festival, for how the event would turns out to be and its special perks.
This festival we organize with the Private International School Association, Yangon Private School Association, and also government school and monastic school. This is the very first time to collaborate with these association and school. This festival is the topic is student festival. That's why we focus on students. This is the Students Center Festival. I'm sure they will get so much knowledge because in this festival we have 5 zones. The first one is DIY zone. The second one is education zone. Another one is ASEAN zone. Another one is cooking zone and also STEAM zone. That's why each and every zone will participate their activities such as games. I'm sure students will get so much knowledge and they can also exchange their knowledge and they can make friends from monastic school and government school and also international school and private school. Yeah.
The festival can be accessible for any students from any schools, whether it may be from the private schools or international schools or the monastic schools. Students can join the festival for free of charge and also with meals provided. If the students are in need of transportation, it will be provided as well in limited numbers. But to make sure, I have also asked DJ as well for what kind of limitations has been set for the festival.
Yeah, age limit will be around maybe about 12 years old. There's no need so much skill. The student must be take the rules and regulation of festivals, and also the teacher needs to control their students. Yeah, they can participate at this festival happily. Yeah, freely. Yeah.
How did the idea of unification of students from all forms of schools came up with and what this student festival really is will be explained by Une Ok, chairman of Myanmar Private Schools Federation.
The new bill on education is coming up and the government also is looking forward to the private sector and the public sector to join hands in improving the education of this country. I have been elected president of Myanmar Private Schools Federation. That means all the private schools in the entire country. We will have one organization, and I will be the head of the organization. And plus, I've been asked to be the patron of the Private International Schools Association. So I'm bringing these two organizations together to hold this very first student festival in Myanmar.
Uneo also added on for why the motives and the aim of Student Festival Myanmar is important.
The aim of the festival is to bring together students in Myanmar. Now, we have 4 different kinds of schools in this country. We have the public schools, which we call government school. And then we have private schools, you see. Now, according to the new law, we can establish private schools. Private schools mean schools that follow the national curriculum. And then we have international schools, also private schools, but they follow the international curricula. And then fourth, we have monastic schools, which also teach the national curriculum. So there are 4 kinds of schools. And our aim is to bring all the students together in one place so that they will learn to know each other and, so that there will be more equality among them.
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's all the reports on Myanmar Today. Time to look at the world through the international landscape now. Chinese President Xi Jinping on Tuesday delivered a New Year's speech in Beijing to ring in 2020, pledging to achieve the first centenary goal of building a moderately prosperous society in all respects in the milestone year. President Xi pledged to lift all rural residents living below the current poverty line out of poverty and eliminate poverty in all poor countries. President Xi also extended best wishes to Hong Kong and Hong Kong compatriots. He said China will unswervingly follow the path of peaceful development, safeguard world peace, and promote common development.
2019 is coming to an end, and President Xi had sent New Year's greetings to the Chinese people.
2019年，我们用汗水浇灌收获，以实干笃定前行。高质量发展平稳推进，我国国内生产总值预计将接近100万亿元人民币，人均将迈上1万美元的台阶。3大攻坚战取得关键进展。
President Xi reviewed major development strategies the country has been promoting during the past 12 months, including the Guangdong-Hong Kong-Macau Greater Bay Area, the country's robust campaign of poverty elimination, and scientific research programs such as Lunar Probe Chang'e 4 and Long March 5 Y3 rocket. President Xi also talked about the major events that China witnessed and the significant achievements it made over the past 12 months, such as the Import Expo, the Grand Military Parade, and the celebration of the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. The Chinese president also shared his outlook for the new year.
2020年是具有里程碑意义的一年。我们将全面建成小康社会，实现第一个100年奋斗目标。2020年也是脱贫攻坚、决战决胜之年。
President Xi said the successful practice of the one country, two systems policy in Macau shows that the policy is fully applicable. He also said that his heart is with the people of Hong Kong. Finally, he encouraged the Chinese people to work hard and fight for their future.
祝大家新年快乐!
Apple is pushing ahead with a lawsuit against Corellium in what is being labeled as a move to end jailbreaking. The tech giant began its legal battle in August, claiming the firm profits from perfect replicas of iOS. Apple has now amended its lawsuit alleging copyright infringement. Corellium's CEO responded in an open letter, insisting developers and jailbreakers should be concerned by the move. Jailbreaking is a process by which Apple's operating systems are modified to remove restrictions and give greater control to the user. It also allows users to install apps that haven't been approved by Apple and gives the option to customize the interface in various ways. Corellium specializes in replicating iOS software, which it says allows security researchers to discover bugs within the platform. However, Apple has accused the firm of encouraging users to sell any flaws they discover to the open market for the highest price. Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. We'll catch up again. Have a great year, everyone.